Hi, today we will study chapter 2 kinematics. Here in this chapter, we'll basically read two topics. Topic 1 is motion in a straight line, and the topic 2 is motion in a plane. So, in a motion in a straight line, study about frame of the reference, motion in the straight line, it means one dimension, position, time graph, velocity, elementary concept of differentiation and integration for describing the motion, uniform and non-uniform motion, average speed, velocity, average velocity, instantaneous velocity, uniform accelerated motion, velocity, time, position graph, relation for uniform accelerated motion, and the graphical treatment. This will be under motion in straight line. And in the second topic, which is motion in plane, here we'll study about the scalar and the vector quantities with the examples, position and the displacement vector, general vector, their notation, equality of vectors, additional and subtraction of vector, and unit vector, resolution of vector in a plane, rectangular and component, scalar and vector product, two vectors, projectile motion and uniform circular motion. Now, we'll deeply study first topic, which is motion in the straight line. Before moving forward, we should know about some terms which are going to play a pivotal role in this particular topic. Like, firstly, we should know about the rest, motion, one-dimensional motion, what is two-dimensional motion, three-dimensional motion, distance, displacement, velocity, acceleration, etc. So, firstly, initial reference frame. It is the reference frame relative to which a body remains to a rest or a uniform motion along with the straight line when the no net external force act on it. It will be initial reference frame. Non-inertial frame, a reference frame that is accelerated or rotating is called non-inertial frame. Okay. Rest, an object is said to be rest when it does not change its position. It's a very common term that when any position is not changing, when any object is not changing its position, then obviously it will be called as in rest. A motion, a body is said to be in motion if its position changes with respect to time, with respect to its surrounding in a given time. One dimension motion, when a motion is in the three coordinates, defining an object position varies over the time the object is motion is referred to be one dimension. Okay, or we can say it as a 1D. 1D. Now, the two dimensional motion means the motion of an object is said to be two dimension when in two or three coordinates specifying the position of the object. It means when it is only x, then it is one dimension. When it's all about x and y, then it is two dimensional. Now, the three dimensional means the motion of an object is said to be three dimensional when the three coordinates specifying in the position of an object change with the time. It means x, y, and z. Distance. What is distance? The length of an actual path covered by an object in a time interval is called distance. It is a scalar quantity. What is a scalar and the vector quantity? Firstly, a scalar quantity is only having magnitude. It's not having any kind of distance. Then it's a scalar quantity. And when it's having magnitude and the direction both, then it will be the vector quantity. Like displacement. The straight line distance between the final and the initial position of the moving object is called displacement. It is a vector quantity as it has both magnitude and the direction. Okay. So simply just keep in mind the quantity which is only having magnitude called scalar. The quantity which is having magnitude as well as direction, it will be vector quantity. Speed. Distance traveled by an object in a unit interval of the time is called speed. It is scalar quantity. Now, instantaneous speed. So, if the speed of an object is continuously changing with the time, then its speed at any particular instant of the time is called instantaneous speed. Okay. Now, what this page is reflecting? Actually, this page is reflecting, it's saying that motion in the straight line and the topics, the subtopics which are under this particular topic like distance, displacement, position time graph, velocity time graph, equation of accelerated motion, acceleration, displacement of an object, velocity and the speed. What actually these all means, the equations and how they are playing a pivotal role in motion in straight line. Okay, we'll just deeply read all these topics, subtopics. Now, moving to the next, average speed. Average speed of an object is the total distance traveled by the object and divided by the total time of cover that distance. That is average speed. Speedometer. Speedometer measures the instant speed of an vehicle. Obviously, as a word denotes, speedometer means the instrument which is just measuring the speed of an vehicle, then it's a speedometer. Okay. Velocity, the displacement of an object in a unit interval time is called its velocity. It is a vector quantity. Instantaneous velocity, if the velocity of an object is continuously changing with the time, then its velocity any particular instant of the time. At particular instant time, it's clearly saying that it is called instantaneous velocity. Average velocity is of an object, total displacement object divided by the total time cover, then its average velocity. Acceleration. See, change in speed with respect to time called velocity. Change in velocity with respect to time called acceleration. So, acceleration is the rate of change of velocity of an object in a unit time. It is vector quantity. Same like instantaneous acceleration, the change in the velocity in given time interval is called instantaneous acceleration. Then the interval is infinitesimally small. So, this is all about some terms or the keywords which are going to play role in this particular topic. Now, moving to the next, we'll just read some graph. Okay, displacement time graph. Firstly, the graph is between the displacement and the time. See, here if you can see, the graph is parallel to the axis. We can see that this is the parallel, just parallel to the axis, time axis. So, the velocity is 0 in this particular case. Okay. Displacement and the time again when the slope is negative and constant. Okay, it's just coming in the downside like this. So, the movement is the negative uniform velocity. Okay. Next, when slope is constant, but it's just going in this way, positive way. So, it will be like velocity is the uniform. Same we'll just do with the displacement and the time graph. After that, the velocity and the time. When, this one, when the slope is just changing, you can see it's not coming down, say it's not going either in the positive or the negative, just it's changing the slope. So, the velocity is non-uniform. Displacement time graph. Graph is parallel to the time axis. Okay, just see. So, acceleration is 0 in this particular case. For the second one, when this graph between the velocity and the time, the slope is positive and the constant, so acceleration is uniform and positive. Okay. Likewise, when the slope is negative, so acceleration is negative, it means the retardation. Always just keep in mind that the negative form of acceleration is called retardation. Okay. Velocity is decreasing uniformly. Now, when it is like this changing position, slope is changing, so the acceleration is non-uniform. Moving to the next, we'll read the acceleration time. We have just studied the velocity time, displacement time, now the acceleration time. Here, when it's a constant acceleration, acceleration is increasing uniformly, just coming down, decreasing uniformly. Now, the derivatives of algebraic function. As graph is there, so obviously we can just derivatives, or we can derive it as an algebraic function as well. Okay. So, as it's all about the axis y and x, so again, we'll just represent these all the things in algebraic function. Okay. Like d by, starting from the here, the limit is delta x 0. Delta y upon x is equals to dy upon dx. We can write it as dy upon dx. And d by dx xn, we know the differentiation of this particular term is nx raised to the power n minus 1. So, the dx sin x will be is equals to cos x. This is also we know the differentiation thing. This is a very common formula we know. Then also differentiation of cos x will be equals to sin x. Then d by dx of x is equals to x. This is also we know. These all are the basic formulas. Then log x is equals to 1 by x. So here dy upon dz will be equals to dy upon dx and dx upon dz. Slope of the curve is theta is equals to dy upon dz. So speed will be ds upon dt. And acceleration A will be dv upon dt square. We can also write it as d square s upon dt square, right? Because we'll just simply put the value of v over here. So it will become like this, d square x and dt square. Integral of algebraic function, this was all about the differentiation thing. Now when the integral thing will see, so it will be integration of xn dx is equals to xn plus 1 and upon n plus 1, and then from the limit a to c fx dx is equals to limit a to b fx dx plus limit c to b fx dx. So area under curve will be fx is a to b fx dx. Now moving to some important thing, which is the key formula. Key formula for equation of uniformly accelerated motion, like v is equals to u plus at. We know these equations. S is equals to ut plus half at square. V square is equals to u square plus 2as. Equation of motion under gravity, which is v is equals to u plus gt. This will be about under gravity, okay? And when acceleration, then obviously a. But when we'll talk about gravity, then it will be g. S is equals to ut plus half gt square, then v square is equals to u square plus 2gs. Now the distance traveled by an object in a particular second, that when we talk about any particular second, then it will be s is equals to u plus half a 2t minus 1. After completing these things, we'll just go through with some 1 mark question. The slope of a distance time graph gives velocity. We know that when distance is changing with respect to time, it will be velocity. Second, the slope of the speed time graph gives acceleration. We also know that when speed is changing with respect to time, then it will be acceleration of the body. Also, see, a train is 100 meter long and is in the motion with the uniform velocity of 54 km per hour. The time taken by it to cross the bridge is 150 is. Then, see, firstly, we know that time taken will be is equals to length of train. It will be is equals to length of train plus length of bridge. It's whole upon velocity. Train is there, bridge is there, so obviously total length we need, then 100 plus 150 and the velocity is already there, it will be 50. Then it will be 250 upon 15, well just solve it, will get 50 by 3. So here option B will be the correct one. Now, moving to the next, a car traveled first 1/3 of a given distance at the rate 10 meter per second, the second 1/3 speed of 20 meter per second, and the last 1/3 at the speed 60 meter per second. The average speed of the car entire distance. What actually it is asking? It is asking about the average speed. So average speed, how we calculate? The distance and then T1, T2 and then T3. So T1 will be is equals to d by 3 upon 10. T2 will be is equals to d by 3 upon 20. We already have these, and then d by 3 upon 60. Putting the values, so when we just put all the values in this particular formula, we'll get the average speed, average velocity. It will be 18 meter per second. Means option D will be the correct. Now, another one is the equation is S is equals to pt plus ad square, where p and q are the constant determinant of the position and as of the body traveling along a straight line path. Indicate if the body is moving in the tandem with. So firstly, we know that the equation S is equals to pt plus qt square. Then we also know that velocity v is equals to ds upon dt. And as we have the value of S, so we'll just simply put it out. And acceleration A is equals to dv upon dt, that it will be is equals to 2q only, because we'll just put the values and here we get 2q, which will be which is equals to constant. So here we can, when it is constant, so it will be uniform acceleration. We have already discussed these all things in the graph, right? After that, another question is, a particle traveling in the straight line experience a change in the position over the time determined by the change. Formula is x is equals to 60 square minus 5t, where t is measured in the second and x in the meter. So the particle initial velocity is, firstly, We know that we have equation x is equals to 60 square minus 5t. We'll just simply calculate the velocity. It means dx upon dt. You'll have to differentiate this particular equation. You will get 12t minus 5 at t is equals to 0. V is equals to minus 5 meter per second. Then the value will be minus 5 meter per second. It means option B will be the correct one. After this, both the magnitude and the direction of an acceleration body are constant. Will the path of the body be not necessarily straight line? It's not always. Why so? Because see, a projectile acceleration g is the constant in two magnitude and the direction. Yet it's a trajectory and is not straight. So path will be parabolic. Okay. That's why it's not necessary. Okay. Not always. After that, we'll go through with some more basic questions related to this straight line motion only. It is discovered that body journey distance is exactly proportional to the square of the time. Is the body experiencing uniform acceleration or uniform velocity? So the body is moving with the uniform acceleration. Why so? We know that x is equals to pd square where p is the constant. Then v is equals to dx upon dt. When we differentiate it, we'll get 2pt. It means so v is changing with the time. Also acceleration dv upon dt, it means 2p. So acceleration is constant. That's why the body is moving with the uniform acceleration. Here we can conclude it. Now, like this, you will have to solve some few more questions. This is some different. I am going to explain this one. The time displacement graph for the two objects A and B are drawn on the same scale. Okay. We have a time displacement graph for the two objects A and B and they are drawn in the same scale. They are straight line which makes an angle. Angle is 30 degree and 60 degree respectively. With the time axis, which one has the greater velocity and what is the ratio of their velocity? See, slope of the curve is equals to velocity which is equals to tan theta. Velocity of A, it means tan 30 is equals to 1 by root 3. Velocity of B, tan 60, it means root 3. So, we'll just keep it like, put the values, velocity of A, velocity of B, 1 by root 3 and root 3 is equals to 1 by 3. So, B has a greater velocity, the ratio is 1 by 3. Here we can conclude that B is having greater velocity than A and the ratio between both of them will be 1 by 3. So like this, you will have to go through with some few questions, one word kind of questions. Now moving to the next, we'll have some 2 marks question. Okay, let's go through it. Between two location, an automobile travels 40 km per hour and the first half of the route 60 km per hour. For the remaining half, what's the vehicle average speed? We know that speed is equals to distance upon time. Very basic thing for any numerical value, for any numerical question, you should know about the formulas. Means like the speed formula, the velocity formula, the acceleration formula. Okay. Now, average of speed is equals to total distance upon total time. So, we have distance x and the total time is something like x by 2 as it's saying first half. That's why it will be x by 2. It will not be the complete x. Okay. X by 2 upon 40 plus x by 2 upon 60. When you solve this one, you will just get 48 km per hour. An object is moving in a given direction with the definite velocity. What is acceleration? Also draw the time velocity graph. Acceleration is 0. And time velocity graph will be as follows. Velocity and then time like this. It will be parallel. Okay. Now, third question is, a person goes to post office slowly and purchase the postcard and then come back speedily. Draw the time graph, time velocity and the time displacement graph of the person. Velocity as it's just going like this, it will be A and then B. Two different things. As person is going to the post office slowly and purchase the postcard, then he comes back speedily. Going slowly but coming up speedily. So, when we just draw the time graph between velocity and the time, it will be like this. X and y axis, A is here and B will be there. With the time is going with the slowly way and when it's coming speedily, it will be like this. And when we'll talk about the displacement in the time, as we know the displacement is something which is the distance between the point A and the B from initial to the final point. So it will be like this with respect to displacement and the time. Another question is, an object is moving with the constant acceleration. Draw the velocity, time and the displacement time graph for an object. An object is moving with the constant acceleration. Draw the velocity, time graph and the displacement. Here it's very clear that acceleration object is moving with a constant acceleration. So it will be like this when it's having only constant. And when we'll talk about the displacement and the time, it will be like this, parabolic in the shape. Okay, when it's not the constant. Now, very important question, this one. What is the difference between distance, displacement? Explain with example. We have already studied, but just going to explain it again. Distance means complete length of the path between any 2 points. But what is displacement? Length of the path between any 2 points when measured along with the straight line. Distance is a scalar quantity, displacement is vector quantity. Okay, this is important one. Also, distance will always is equals to speed into time, where displacement will be is equals to velocity into time. Distance is always positive, displacement may be positive, negative and zero. So this is the best example for displacement and distance. Like see, when a person travels from A to B along with the circumference of the semicircle of radius r, then the distance traveled will be pi r, but the displacement will be 2r. Why so? It's just covering like this A0 to A, O to A and then O to B. It will be 2r. So this is an example. Likewise, what is the difference between the velocity and the speed? Same, you'll have to explain what velocity is. It is the displacement, rate of change of displacement with respect to time. Speed is rate of change of distance with respect to the time. It is a vector quantity, it is a scalar quantity. Velocity may be positive, negative and zero. And speed is always positive. A car, this will explain with the example. A car starts from A and releases B and then C with the constant speed. Time taken is 2r. Okay. We know that speed is equals to distance traveled upon time. So we'll just write it AB plus BC upon 2. It means 8 plus 6 upon 2. So we'll get 7. Like this, velocity is equals to displacement upon time taken. It means AC. So as we don't have AC, so we'll just use the Pythagoras theorem. 8 square, 6 square upon 2, you'll get 5 km per hour. Moving to the next, we'll have velocity and acceleration difference and then their examples. If velocity of the particle is v1 and the final velocity is v2, then velocity changes will be v2 minus v1. It's asking about the velocity change. And acceleration is rate of change of velocity. In acceleration, it means v2 minus v1 is t. Whatever the v is, then only the acceleration will be, as acceleration depends on velocity. Like this, we have some more questions. Explain with the reason if there can be acceleration in the motion, a body when the velocity is 0. There can be an acceleration in the motion of the body when the velocity of the body is 0. Like C, for a projectile when the particle reaches to the highest point. Okay, if the velocity is 0 but there is an acceleration which is equals to d, it means at that time there would be the gravitational force. Okay. Explain with the reason if there can be an acceleration and motion of the body when the speed is body is uniform. There can be acceleration in the motion of the body when the speed of the body is uniform. It is possible when magnitude of the velocity, it means the speed remains constant but the direction changes. Example, a particle executing a uniform circular motion. So this is the reason, like when acceleration is in the motion of the body and speed of the body is uniform. So like this, we have some few more 2 marks question. So now going to explain some different concept. Like see, x0 represents a position of the time object at a time t0 and we represent the uniform velocity. The object is in uniform motion along with the straight line. Draw the position time graph x and t when both are negative, both are positive. Okay. So as it's a case for negative and the positive thing, so we'll have to draw a graph like this, x one other way positive and no another side minus, means negative. So when both are negative, it will be like this. Obviously, it will drawn in negative side, and when they both are positive, it will be like this. Okay, so this is very simple. Now, moving to the next 3 marks question, we have derive the following relation graphically. We know these are the equation of motion, but here it is asking to derive it, but graphically. Let's see how. So, the initial velocity of an object at the time t is equals to 0 is u. We know that u is something which we say initial velocity, and it is increasing continuously at the uniform rate of acceleration. So, therefore, the time velocity graph an object at inclined straight line AB. After the time t, the velocity becomes t. Uniform was u, but just after the time t, it generally become b. It means the final velocity. Okay, let there be the point B on the line AB corresponding to the time t. The coordinate of this point will be t and b. So, for the first equation, we know that slope at the time velocity graph A is equals to CV. It means like this. And upon AC. Okay. So, it will be V minus U, means final minus initial, upon T. AC is the time and this is the velocity. It will be V minus U is equals to AT. So, V is equals to U plus AT. See how simply with the help of this graph we have derived equation 1. Let's move with this equation 2. Our second equation. From t is equals to 0, t time the object covers the distance s. Here we'll discuss about the distance as well. The distance is equals to the enclosed between the time velocity graph and time axis t is equals to 0 to t. S is the area of trapezium. We can see from the graph that one trapezium has been made. So here S is equals to area of rectangle, it means ACDO, and area of the triangle ABC. We'll simply write the area will be like DC into AC plus half CV into BC. S is equals to, when we put the values of DC, AC, CB and AC, will get equation. We'll have to just simplify. Okay, you will get this one, but you'll have to simplify this particular equation with the help of first equation as well, and you will get final equation S is equals to UT plus half AD square. This will be the second equation. Now the third one, the distance traveled by the moving object is T, given by S is equals to area of trapezium ABDO. Then S is equals to half sum of parallel side, and the distance you will have to denote it like S is equals to OA dB OD upon 2. Then S is equals to half U plus VT. Then it will be V is equals to V square is equals to U square plus 2 is when you simplify this one with the alpha first and the second equation, you will get this V square is equals to U square plus 2AS. So this is all about the equation of motion with the help of graphical method. Okay. Now, what do you understand why a negative value of velocity explained with an example? It's simply asking negative value of velocity. Displacement. The time graph is often plotting the displacement along with the y-axis and along with the x-axis. We know that. To find the slope of the graph, we take a point A and the straight line graph drop with the perpendicular AB AC on the time x-axis and the displacement is a y-axis. So, AB is the displacement of the body, we know that, and OB is the interval or we can say time interval. So, slope of line OA is equals to AB upon OB. The velocity will be equals to displacement upon time taken, means AB upon OB. So, the slope of the graph will be equals to velocity. So, here we can conclude that negative velocity means the magnitude of the velocity is same, but the direction is reverse. Simply, very easy. Magnitude is same, it's fine. But when the direction of the velocity is different, then it will be the negative. Also, one simple example is there. When a student goes from home to school, then his velocity is considered positive. So, when he returns to the home from school with the same speed, velocity is considered to be the negative since the direction is reversed. Means with the direction it has been concluded that it will be negative velocity. So this is all about the positive and the negative velocity. Now, we have some few more numericals with the graphical based question. Let's move forward with this one. The time velocity of the car or the time velocity graph of car is shown in the figure like this. We have a figure. Well, what we have to calculate is acceleration from A to B and the distance traveled in the last 4 seconds. These two things we'll have to calculate. Let's see how. Initial velocity is 5, okay, and final velocity is 2 and 5. So time is 1 second. Acceleration will be 2 minus 5 upon 1 and is equals to minus 3 meter per second square. Also distance traveled from the last 4 seconds asking. So area, what it will become like, what area it's covering, VDEC and area of triangle, it's D, E and F, two things it's covering. It will be 2 into 2 plus 1 by 2, 2 into 2. So when we solve this, it will get 6 meter. So these are the some few questions which are totally dependable on the given graphs. Now moving to the next, we have 5 marks question. Okay, let's go ahead with this. Define uniform velocity, variable velocity and average velocity. And along with that, it also asking for one question. A man travels 2.5 kilometer at 2.5 kilometer at 5 kilometer per hour on a straight road from his house to the market. When he discovers the market is closed, he quickly turns and retreats up pace 7.5 km per hour. What is the man's average speed and the velocity of the following time? We have some time intervals like first 0 to 30, 0 to 50 and then 0 to 40. Let us explain the uniform velocity first. We know that it is a condition in which body covers the equal displacement. It's interval of the time. A variable, it is a conditional in which body covers unequal displacement in equal interval of time. Find average velocity. This is the basic definition. For the B part, the distance of the market from home is 2.5. Okay. And the speed of the man going from the home market will be V1 is equals to 5 km. We have included this thing from the given data. Then the time. The time taken to reach the market is T1 is equals to 2.5 upon 5, which is equals to 0.5, or we can say 30 minutes. We have just simply converted hour into the time. Likewise, the speed of the man while walking back is T2 is equals to 7.5. And the time taken back, T2 is equals to 2.5 upon 7 means 20 minutes. Okay. Now, over the interval from 0 to 30. Firstly, it's asking from 0 to 30. In this time interval, the man walks from his home to the market. Distance is 2.5. So, average velocity will be 2.5 upon 0.5. It means 5 km. And average speed will be 2.5 upon 0.5. It means again 5 km. Now, second interval is 0 to 50. And during this interval, the man goes to the market and returns home. It means displacement is 0. Going and just coming, no distance. Okay, it means displacement will be 0. And the distance covered will be 2.5 and the 2.5 will be 5 km. Then time taken is 50 minutes. It means 5 upon 6 hour. Then magnitude of the average velocity will be 0. Displacement upon 5 by 6. It means time. It is 0. So, average speed will be 5 upon 5 by 6 means distance covered upon this time taken, then it will be 6 km per hour. Now, the third one, over the interval 0 to 40, third interval is 0 to 40. During this time, first 30 minutes, the man covers a distance 2.5 km. Okay. 2.5 km and the next 10 minutes he returns of a distance, it means 2.5 upon 1.25 km and the displacement will be 2.5 minus 1.5 is equal to 1.25. Distance covered will be 2.5 plus 1.25 means 3.75. So the time taken is equals to 40 minutes means 2 by 3 hour. Magnitude of an average velocity is 1.25 upon 2 by 3, 1.875 km per hour. Okay, means one displacement upon time. Then for the average speed, it will be distance upon time and we'll get the 5, another value 5.65. So this is about the conditional question. Okay. Now, Draw the time. Yeah. In this one, another question. We just see in the given figure, time displacement are moving body is given. Okay, we have one graph. What we have to draw the time velocity graph firstly. Second, when the body was moving faster, how much total distance the body has traveled, what is the total displacement, what was the acceleration of the body from the beginning up to A. So position time we have firstly O to A. It means the time will be 0 to 1 second. So 20 meter, you just simply with the help of this graph will have to calculate all the things. Okay, position time and then velocity. 20 meter, it means 20 meter per second. From A to B means 1 second to 3 second. Just see from here. Okay. So no displacement. From B to C, 3 to 5 second means minus 20, it means minus 20 by 2, it means minus 10. Okay. Now plotting the hour point of the velocity time graph like this. We have velocity and then time A and then B. 0 to 1 means like this, 1 to 20. No displacement, it's fine. Then it's going in the downside and minus, so it will be like this. Now, the body moves fastest between 0 to 1 second. Distance moved from 0 to 1 is 20 meter per second. It means 20 meter only. From 1 to 3, 0 into 2 means 0. And from 3 to 5, it means 10 into 2 means 20. Okay. So, with the help of this, we'll just calculate all the three cases. So, like this, these all are the 5 marks question where you will get some graphs, and with the help of these graphs, you will have to calculate might be some acceleration velocity. There are some conditions or there are some timings like 0 to 5, 5 to 6, like this. You will have to find the things. See, like one question is the figure shows the time velocity graph and body from the velocity like this. Okay. What we have to calculate is the type of motion firstly, the initial velocity and the acceleration, maximum height attained by the body, after how much time the body will return. Firstly, we have this graph. So, uniform retarded motion up to first 4 seconds in the upward direction, then uniformly accelerated motion in the downward direction. Okay. Second is initial velocity and the acceleration. We know that initial velocity is 40 and final velocity is 0. So t is 4 seconds. We know the velocity, rate of change of velocity with respect to time is acceleration. So you simply have to put the value 0 minus 40 upon 4. It means minus 10 meter per second square. All the things depend on formula of acceleration, velocity, distance, displacement and the speed. Maximum height attained by the area of triangle, the area it's covering, OAB, it means half into 4 into 40, it means 80. And the body returns in 8 seconds. So, this is all about some basic questions. One more question, let's read it. Like, see, a person standing on the roof of a building 30 meter high drops and a ball vertically downward with an initial velocity 500 centimeter per second. Acceleration due to gravity is 9.8 meter per second. What we have to calculate is what will be the velocity of the ball after 0.5 second and 0.5 second. Where will be the ball after 1.5 second? What will be the velocity of the ball striking the earth? So, initial velocity u is equals to 500 centimeter. It will just convert into the meter per second. Height we know and g value we have. We'll have to use the equation of motion. V is equals to u plus at, as it's only about the gravity. We'll just replace a in from g. Put the values and you will get the velocity 0. Then equation, another one is s equals to ut plus half it square. But again, it's for the gravity. We'll have to change the equation, substitute all the values and you will get the position of the ball. And with the third equation of motion, you will get this. V square is equals to 5 square 2 into, you'll have to simply denote the values and you get V is equals to root 3,613 meter per second, the velocity of the ball striking. So, this is all about the chapter motion, which is totally dependable on the things like motion, 1D, 2D, velocity, distance, displacement and all the question depends on the equation of motion. We have studied v is equals to u plus at, s is equals to ut plus half at square. With these equation of motion, you will have to calculate the different aspects which has been asked in question. So yeah, this is all about the motion in straight line. With the help of some velocity equation of motion, we have also calculated some numericals. So for the rest, just stay connected. And for the topic 2, please watch another one or part 2. Thank you.